What's going on, real Detroit Lions fans? you got Andrew and I here, man. We are here live for you guys to talk about a lot of the news that's been going on this past week. It's been some crazy stuff, and we're here to talk about it. There's been so much going on. Obviously, we've had the 4th. Happy Independence Day to everybody. It's America's birthday, and we're definitely here to celebrate that. But we have a lot of news, man. Tavai getting hit in the face with some fireworks, and Stafford's having babies left and right. So we're here to talk about all of it. But first, I'm going to introduce my brother, my co-host, my best friend, Andrew. What's going on, my man?
Dude, what's going on, man? We have not been live in a minute, and I was like, there's so much to catch up on. It's Sunday night. People are chilling. I'm like, let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And there's just so much going on in the world of the NFL. And especially, when we're talking about this time during this pandemic, we don't even know if football is going to end up coming back. Like, we're all dying for sports. We're dying for anything at this point. And, we're all just waiting, and we're in this weird, limbo of no sports and just waiting for news to come in. And now we get this news that even during training camp, they're hardly going to let any media into the building. So that's going to be really weird. But all right, let's talk about the first topic at hand, and that's obviously Jahlani Tavai. During this 4th of July, he got hit in the face with his own fireworks, and he was posting about it, so we know it's all good. And he was saying, like, hey, this low-key hurts. Because he posted a picture of a firework blowing up in his face. What did you think about that? Did you get any, like, JPP, any kind of vibes like that? Any kind of scares?
Bro, well, everyone has that clickbait title. So all I read was Jahlani Tavai, has a firework explode in his face. I'm like, yo, my man looks like Two-Face from Batman. My reaction was just like, damn, bro, we just drafted him. He has so much potential. And then he has a firework blow up in his face. I'm like, dear God, But, I'm sure we all, read those articles and stuff, and he's okay. He said it hurt like a mother, but he's doing fine, So I was super worried at first, man. How about you?
Yeah, man, I'm with you. When I first read that, I was like, no, man, not the Lions, please. Please, not the Lions, man. We can't afford an injury like this right now, especially like Jahlani Tavai. Like, it could be Christian John. I'm just kidding. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but seriously, like, Jahlani Tavai was one of our bright spots last year. When Jarrad Davis didn't start the season, we didn't know how the season was going to turn out with the linebackers, and Jahlani Tavai was our number 1 linebacker as a rookie coming in, and he stepped in. He was the middle linebacker for a while. He stepped in really well. He was doing everything that they were asking him to do. And then when Jarrad Davis came back, he fit right into that role. On the outside as well, he was doing very well, man. So this was not somebody that you want to see hurt, like, especially. You don't want to see anybody hurt, but especially somebody like Jahlani Tavai, who's been performing, who's been there, who's been a cornerstone of this defense, ever since he's been drafted. So, and we're hoping that he even busts onto the scene and is a breakout player this year even more. So, man, I was so scared when I saw that headline, but man, bro, I'm happy to see that he's okay.
I know, man. It's scary because every year, there's so many firework incidents and it's just crazy. And when you have a headline like that, I'm just like, yo, I hate the writer that does that, because I'm like, why you got to do me like that, bro? Like, I'm just trying to, get drunk, have a fun time. And I read that stuff and I'm just like, oh, damn, I got to read this immediately, Yeah. But actually, I want to talk about this. It's one of our questions we were going to talk about. But Troy, I have no idea how to say her last name, so I'm just going to say Troy. Is saying that the players union voted to have no preseason games. So it was a unanimous decision. The entire NFLPA decided that they would prefer no preseason games so that they can just focus on week 1. What do you think about that?
I'm sorry. I just saw that JMO just asked for the invite, so I'm gonna copy this link and send it to him. But I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question one more time?
Hey, you're fine, man. Fellow DSA member, bring your ass in, son. No, so pretty much the NFLPA, they put it up to a vote, in terms of how many preseason games should be played, and it was unanimous that they wanted the whole preseason to be wiped out and just start the season with week one. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, like the preseason games to me are very much irrelevant. I know that, it's important for us to get a good view of those players that are on the bubble, especially when you're bringing the roster down to the 55 man now roster. I know that that's very important, but at this point, with this pandemic going on, we haven't even gotten that the entire time. We haven't gotten rookie mini camp. We haven't gotten any kind of offseason programs. And, now, you're talking about the preseason. I've always been an opponent of the preseason anyway, because, a lot of coaches, they take it differently, and some coaches put their starters in for longer than other coaches, and that scares me because I do not want my players to get injured during the preseason when it does not matter whatsoever. I don't understand it at all. When I see Stafford in a preseason game at all, I get worried and I get frustrated because I don't think he should be in there at all. I understand, like, if you're trying to see, like, who's your fourth, fifth string wide receiver or tight end or whatever, and you're trying to see how they, are acclimated to the offense and how they would perform with the starting quarterback in there. But at the same time, it's so much of a risk that I don't think any of the reward is validated at all. I honestly don't, because like, yes, you could see if some of those bubble players should make the team or not, but at the same time, great players that can perform for you all season are getting injured in a meaningless, ultimately it's the scrimmage and just a scrimmage. So I'm not that upset with I'm not that upset at all with them, decreasing the preseason games or even eliminating the preseason games overall. But we got 313 JMO, heart of the city here, fellow DSA member. What's going on, JMO?
What's up, man? I don't mean to barge in. I ain't know what y'all was doing, man. I just wanted to talk. But considering what I just heard, I'm actually kind of upset because I know we don't want players getting injured, but players need reps. And if your offense or defense come out rusty that first week, you're gonna be rusty for the next 4 weeks. So the preseason is to shake all that rust off. But I'm surprised they just got rid of it. Like, I think the players were just like, just a middle finger to the NFL. We don't want no preseason. Stop trying to play with us and have half the games. They like, this is pointless. Let's just start. But like, I'm just saying, like, we gonna be rusty. But only good thing is we know nobody will be hurt unless it happens in training camp.
Yeah, you know what though? When I first thought about it, I was like, I'm so happy. I'm like, I hate the preseason. I hate nothing more than players getting hurt in meaningless games, just like Real said. But the thing that pisses me off the most is that the whole preseason, you're trying to knock off some rust. I get it. And you have a drive or two. But that's also what those joint practices are for, to verse other people, to get those reps in. But preseason should just be those rookie players, your new free agent signings, people you traded for, all that stuff, to see what they can do. Your backup, see what they can do. You already know who your starters are. You guys have been working on this for like day in, day out, whatever. And I know this season's a little different, but I have always hated the preseason because I'm like, dude, like
preseason is for the rookies though.
I know,
and
but
they matter. Like when we saw Kenny Golladay, I mean, I was already high on Kenny Golladay before he played in the preseason, But when we saw Kenny Golladay in the preseason, we were like, oh, when we saw Amani Warrior, we was like, oh. But in the other direction, it's for the rookies, and all of our roster spots are not filled. We just replaced the entire defense. So with our specific team, like if you're a team with your roster spots filled, cool. But with our team, our roster spots aren't filled. And like it's just like that. I feel like Matt Patricia just gonna throw who he think is best out there, and that might not work. You know what I'm saying? But offense is probably set. But what about the O-line? We don't know how none of these O-linemen are going to do. It would have been good to see them go against some NFL level talent to be prepared. Now you're gonna face Khalil Mack week 1, and you're a rookie. Like how that's gonna work. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's exactly why I think either Wiggins or Ibushi is going to get that right guard
Man,
spot.
Wiggins ain't getting nothing. Joe Dog is getting it over Wiggins. Like this is the only reason I get pissed off about Wiggins. Y'all act like Joe Dog didn't beat him out. Like he started 13 games, he beat out Wiggins. If he can do it once, he can do it again. Even if Wiggins somehow makes the team, he not starting.
Well, that's what I have Joe Dahl as my left guard. That's what I'm saying. Joe Dahl
Right
starting
guard
left guard.
It's gonna be
right guard is either going to be Ibushi or Wiggins, in my opinion. But
no,
listen,
man, Ibushi or Wiggins, and you let Graham Glasgow go, you might as well look. They done invested too much in Matthew Stafford to put Ibushi or Wiggins at right guard and let Graham Glasgow go. They gonna put Jonah there for sure.
You know
I
what,
hope
though?
so, but you just said it, man. You just no rookie minicamp, no preseason game, or maybe we do have a couple preseason.
They'll still have training camp, but the thing, I want the rookies to go against actual talent.
Right. I'm with you there, but
those joint practices, that's backyard football with some scripted plays. You might be doing 7-on-7s. Like it's not the same as being in a game. All right, the snap count. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to be here, and things of that nature. And remember, a lot of our rookies, Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Glasgow, they played in like every preseason game. Bo Benschwa, like the guys that became our starters in the future have like played in all of the preseason games to build reps. That's literally what they did. Because all offensive linemen are like expected to not get hurt that often, I guess. But the old linemen are always out. Like Taylor Decker is like in every preseason game that matters. Like the whole game. And sometimes he's been in there for 3 quarters. I know you remember this. So
yeah, well, I will say this though. It's not like we're at a disadvantage because this is happening to the entire league. So it's not like we are having this, problem and nobody else is. So I mean, if we're gonna have this issue with our rookies, then everybody else is. So, but at the same time, at least nobody's getting injured. That's all I gotta, because how terrible would it be if somebody like Okuda or somebody like DeAndre Swift, like I don't even want to speak. I'm knocking on wood as we speak right now. But like if one of them got injured in the preseason games, how awful would that feel? It's just, I expect them to start. I expect them to be contributors in the season. But that doesn't necessarily mean they need those preseason reps. You know what I mean? Even if they're a little rusty starting out.
It's not like I disagree with you. I just feel like even though I'm fine with not having it, it's going to be some effect. Like these cornerback, it's some positions they just need reps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like reps. I feel like the training camp though, man. Like you're like in our scheme.
Training camp ain't gonna do nothing.
Look, in our scheme though, JMO, our scheme is very simple, right? Everyone knows our defenses. So how hard can it be when you're just throwing in play man?
Hey man, look. As much as we can brag on Matt Patricia, hey, Pat Mahomes didn't know our defenses. He uses the deer headlights. So
look, we're going to talk about that
this year either. So still,
we're going to talk about that in another question. But our next, topic is just our boy DeAndre Swift signed with the Lions. Real, what do you think about that? He just signed his rookie contract.
What do you mean? What do I think about that? I mean, he's a rookie when he signed his contract. I mean, there's nothing to think about, to be honest. I don't know.
You know what, though? When I hear this, and sometimes it takes people so long, I'm like, bro, this is 3 months down the road. Like, why did it take that long to get your contract together? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure we still have a couple players that we drafted that are still not under contract, too.
Yeah, I don't put too much weight into that. I really don't. And J-Mo, I'd like to hear your thoughts as well. But I don't put too much weight in it myself because it's like, who cares? It's just agents talking to the team and trying to get a contract written up and trying to see like how much compensation the player is going to end up getting. And it's usually, they're negotiating between $1 million or $2 million because the rookies pretty much they make a set amount of money based on where they're drafted almost. You know what I mean? They can negotiate a little bit up. The team can negotiate a little bit down, but it is what it is. And I think that without all of the offseason stuff going on because of COVID, I think they just took a little while to get it done because there was no need to get it done. They knew that he was going to sign eventually, and that was basically it. J-Mo, do you have any thoughts on this?
My thoughts is, and excuse my French, but why the hell is Ian Rappaport reporting on this? I just Like, I wish Lions fans would just like listen to me for a second. Like, I don't make hot takes. I say all this crazy stuff, and then I always say it's record of everything I said, and I was right. And you can go look at the tapes. It's something weird that's going on with this team. We're getting too much media coverage. Why is he tweeting DeAndre Swift signed with the Lions?
Dude, yeah.
Like,
I did think that was
seen
weird.
that before. Like, huh? And this is just another thing on top of the 150 things, positive or negative, about this team this year that's just been very weird to me. I'm really asking y'all, like, why would Ian Rappaport, like, it was people in the comments like who asked, and I'm like, yeah, low key. Like,
Hey,
like, we're the Lions. Why are you talking about who we signed? Like, I know DeAndre Swift is a name, but he's not a name enough for you to actually be talking about him. It just has me thinking that it's a collection of people that believe something's happening here, whether it's gonna be good or bad. Because it's just weird to me, you know, as a fan, how much coverage we're getting, negative or positive. It's just like usually every season is basically like media negative. We ain't gonna be nothing. Mostly our media is saying the same thing. It's cool. We ain't really on TV that much. We go about our business, right? This year it hasn't been like that, and it's been COVID. So I feel like that allows you to put the microscope on other teams that are much bigger than ours. So why are y'all talking so much? It just I know that doesn't have nothing to do with Swift signing, but why? It's just weird, you know.
It is weird. It's not like we're talking about Joe Burrow. We're not talking about Chase Young. Like, this is our second round pick, DeAndre Swift. You're right. Like, why is Ian Rappaport? I have no idea. I really have no idea. Yeah, why is there so much media coverage now, like, for the Lions? Honestly, I love it though. I love the media coverage, and they better be there when we get screwed by the refs. This same media coverage better be there for sure.
You, this is the year where I mean, it's gonna be people still quiet because we the Lions, but this is the year that people are willing to go all in on Matt Patricia outside looking in. They like, you know, San Francisco, they got it done the third year. You know, what we hearing, you know, worst to first and all of this stuff. But yeah, I'm with you. I do like it, but it's like I said, it is unusual because like they just don't talk about it. So why? It's just unusual. But a lot of people like Jeff Okudah and DeAndre Swift. And then, you know, they probably look at the offense and be like, all right, if Matt Patricia can, you know, live up to the hype, maybe they're going to be all right. I don't know. But I don't know what Ian Rappaport thinks of the team, but I don't know why he's talking about the team. But Swift signing, I mean, you know, like Real said, you know, who cares? He signed. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
You know what, though? We should have also offered a contract to his dad to be our strength coach. Because, my God, that man is swole. This dude's arms are literally the size of freaking watermelons. Like I know he runs a gym and everything, but like, yo, please come work out our players, man. I hope this guy's in the stands because you already know he's going to be on the TV screen every freaking Sunday.
You already know. This is going to be the new Chris Durham was Matt Stafford's roommate in college, or that Matt Stafford and Kershaw from the MLB.
Wait, so you telling me they drafted Chris Durham because of Matthew Stafford?
Yes, I am saying that 100%.
Stafford then. No, that's unforgivable. Like, no, Chris Durham was so trash. Like, he was like the worst receiver I ever seen drafted.
Oh
like,
my God,
he had one catch in his career and that's it, bro.
Man, the media they jump onto these stories and then they say them every single week.
Man. As much as y'all don't like Bob Quinn, he would never do something so stupid like that. Draft the guy because he was Stafford's roommate. Like, bruh,
they got chemistry, bro.
Man, I'm looking at his career: 55 receptions, 12 yards of reception, 3 touchdowns. That's it.
Yo, that's fire. That is straight.
Look, 1 year he had, let's see, 85 targets and 38 receptions. Oh my gosh. 490 yards and like 2 touchdowns.
Hey, why are we trashing our team right now, Jamie? Hey, chill. Hey, we don't want that negativity, baby. All right.
That was one of those years that the Lions had the most drop catches for sure. That was definitely one of those years.
He had 50 targets that he was just like, I can't get these.
Even though he's like 7 feet tall.
Dude,
Like,
yeah.
oh my goodness. Man.
Anyways, on to the next topic. So the Staffords had their 4th child, so congratulations. I literally had no idea if it was boy or girl because I didn't hear anything in the media. And lo and behold, they have the 4th musketeer of their little girl party going on. And I'm literally like, as a fan, I'm like, dude, can you have a boy, please? I'm like, I need a little mini Matthew Stafford so I can have hopes that we will have a franchise quarterback in the future. Because I might have to wait 20 years, you know what I'm saying?
I keep telling you, after Stafford, it's going to be 15, bro. I'm not joking.
Dude,
Yeah.
Dude,
But no, I was heartbroken, low key. I'm like, please be a boy. Please be a boy. Come on, Stafford must be a real asshole because God is not giving him no boys. He's like, no, bro, no.
In an interview, Stafford did say,
Stafford, I need you to be like Phillip Rivers, have 17 kids. That way, you'll have a boy.
Well, Stafford in an interview, he did say he doesn't want a boy because he doesn't want that. Yeah, he said he doesn't want his son to have to live up to his his dad type.
Look, you know he's lying, bro.
Well, listen, there's a trend going on because all of his daughters. I mean, listen, look, Chandler, Sawyer, Hunter, and now Tyler. They're all boy names. Every single one of his daughters.
He's like, if it's a girl, I have to name a
bro,
boy
I
name.
never even realized that. You can't tell me you don't want a boy, man. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna give y'all all unisex names.
That's not even unisex at that point. Like, I've never known.
They are because they're girl names.
I guess, yeah. I guess.
I know a few girls named Tyler. I know some girls named Tyler. Sawyer.
Hunter.
I don't know many people named Sawyer regardless. What was the other two? Chandler.
Hunter.
Yeah, friends.
Friends.
Like
Hunter.
Chandler is like the weirdest name I ever heard in my life.
Hey, chill, bro. That's my girlfriend's name.
Hey, man. Hey, that's a weird name, bro. Chandler, dog. Like,
Bro,
what?
as soon as you said that, I was like, Real's probably like, yo, Andrew's gonna say some shit.
Bro, I'm gonna fucking piss my pants. I swear.
bro, but I mess with her all the time. Be like Chandler Bing or like, so you got clown a little bit, but it's all good,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to take a second, all you in the chat, thank you for joining. I'm seeing some names I've never seen before, so if you like what we're talking about, you enjoy the conversation, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel because we talk a lot of sports.
I feel like this centipede person is a bot or something like that. If you're not a bot, put lion in the chat for sure because we ain't talking about masks, we ain't talking about politics over here, but you're bringing up some politics. So hey, if you're not a bot, post "I'm not a bot" or "Go Lions" in the chat. I don't believe you.
I feel like that'd be a weird bot, but welcome to the Real Detroit Lions fans.
Yeah, we welcome bots. Let's go.
Right. I mean, on the real though, I was outside today at the beach without a mask. So it just matters where you're going, man. It just matters where you're going.
He posted lion. It's not a bot. Hey, all right. Now, you know what? Centipede, all respect to your opinion, but I'm wearing a mask outside just because it's not for me, but I want to protect, the people that I'm going out just for respect, but you can do you, man. It's no problem.
Right.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you, shouting out your opinion though.
Right. We got to protect the old people. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to say, no, man. Don't be telling nobody to go out without no mask. Man. That's reckless. Like, go out with a mask. Like, what's wrong with y'all people, man?
Right.
The sooner you go out with a mask, the more this will be over with.
Hey, it's a free country though.
Going out without a mask, it's just gonna be 3 years from now, and coronavirus, and people are still refusing to wear masks. Like I'll be like, bro.
He says, "Show your face." Yo, I'm looking mad scrubby right now, bro.
Bro,
I had a rough 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? So, hey. Anyways, the next topic. So, I read that some teams are considering traveling to the stadiums day of, literally morning of, and like when I first read that, I'm just like, man, that is really shitty. You know, like, what do you guys think?
Morning of that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous to ask. And they talk about it. Pat McAfee has talked about it on his podcast and other people as well. They talk about when you're going from the East Coast to the West Coast and you're playing in a different time zone or different stuff like that, like it does affect you as a player because those players there, they're used to that time zone, they're used to whatever, and now you're not only flying in, which takes time, but you're adjusting to their time zone. You have jet lag, you have all that stuff to adjust to. It's not the same. So when you're talking about going there the day of and then playing and performing, like that has got to be rough. That's definitely a disadvantage. So I really hope that does not happen. It is what it is though. But what do you think, JMO?
What's the question?
Teams are considering flying in the day of games. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, so I don't know why would you do that? If you want to fly in so early to be safe, at least do it the day before. But the day of, it's just like you really trying to see some bad football. Dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the day before is worse, but it's better than the day of. At least you get a good night's sleep. You know what I'm saying? And you get to go in the morning, but the day of that's insane. Dude, I like that. That's gonna cause the level of football to be extremely bad.
If you've ever been on a plane, any of you guys in the chat or just anyone, you have jet lag. And if the games start at 1, what time are you flying out? You taking the red eye? Like you're going overnight? Like I don't understand like how early you're gonna go. Our players are gonna be tired. They're gonna be lethargic. Like I don't want that. Like bro, like you guys need to go a week ahead of time and just stay together as a team. Just don't freaking interact with other people for that week or something. Like there's so many other ways around it. And I think flying in game day is going to be so crappy for away teams.
Yeah, no, that's 100% like a fact. Like this is going to be a super weird year just in general with
I'm just saying like, I don't even want to watch the games. You got teams flying in the day of.
Not only that, but you're going to have players.
Like that football, like the football game is going to be trash for the first 3 quarters, and they'll finally get it going by the 4th. Like I'm dead serious. We gonna see some old Smash Mouth football once again. It's gonna be a new era of Smash Mouth because ain't nobody gonna be able to get nothing going on either side.
It's either that or they're gonna be sleeping in the 4th, bro, because they're so tired.
You're like, come on, that's not something. I hope they don't do that. I really hope they don't do that. Look, you can't ruin the product, man. Like, come on.
I agree, man. With that, the jet lag they're going to have from going in the day of, not only that, but no off-season prep. I mean, yeah, we're saying there's going to be training camp, but really we don't know. If they're going to be canceling preseason, we don't really know if there's going to be official training camp. But there's no rookie mini camp. There might be a training camp. We don't know what the preseason is going to look like. And then they're going to be flying in the day of to away games. And then on top of that, you're probably going to have players here and there that have COVID that are going to have to be quarantined. So you're going to be playing with not your full roster. It's going to be a really, really odd year. Like, honestly, whoever wins this Super Bowl this year, and watch this year be the freaking Lions year. And there's going to be an asterisk next to it.
The Lions going to win because it's the worst year.
Yeah. History, so. It makes no damn sense. And it would be the Lions year. And then everybody's going to be like, well, yeah, that was the COVID year. It doesn't really count,
No, that's what we're going to have. We're going to play like 14 or 13 games. And they'll be like, oh, it was COVID. It was COVID, man. Matthew Stafford ain't never won that. Like, it was COVID.
Like, right. They'll be like,
you already know, man. He only won that one COVID championship, dog. Like, no, man. Like, that's exactly how they gonna sound. Exactly how I just sounded.
You know what though?
That's exactly how it's gonna be. Oh, it was COVID. I mean,
right. That actually, that made me think, man. Like, if people do get the coronavirus, that is so bad because for one, you're losing one of your players for at minimum 2 weeks just because they have to quarantine. They're losing out on practices. They're losing out on, all that scheme stuff, so many things. But also, like, dude, I have seen a lot of people with COVID. I work in the medical field. What it does to the body is so bad if it hits you hard. And if any of these guys actually get it and it impacts their lungs, I guarantee you that player will be out probably the rest of the season. So it's not just going to be 2 weeks. Like, it hits some people super hard to where if they're trying to exert themselves, like physically, they're going to lose their breath like almost immediately.
Well,
So
the
it's
players
very
with
concerning.
lung or respiratory issues is an effect. Other than that, I don't think any of the players will really be in danger. Maybe Tom Brady because he's 87. But most of the players would probably be fine though if they did catch it. But other than that, I would expect the coaches to be more in danger. That would be. I'm not going to put that in the air, but that would be if something happened to one of the coaches.
Yeah, I see very big problems that could arise, because if you a lot of play like that bar in Lansing, one person had it, ended up spreading it to 50 freaking people within like a week's time. They all started showing symptoms, right? So let's say one of our players is asymptomatic and he ends up having the virus, and then our whole team, it just spreads through our whole freaking team. Like, what would you even do, dude? That's just a huge L on the season, because how do you even handle that? Your whole team's going to be quarantined. They're all going to be sick. Like, that would be the most devastating thing to ever happen.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. But hey,
yeah, I just think they'll push it back so they'll have enough time. Like without the preseason, I don't think the season is gonna start to maybe November or December, honestly. And I know that's late, but we're gonna be playing games in March and February.
You know what though, JMO? I thought about that. I'm like, yeah, because all I can think about is we're having a season. I don't care when it is, we're having a season. But then I'm like, but then the season's not going to end till way later, and then we're gonna pick up next season like this, just in a snap. And I'm like, that's a lot of abuse on the body in such a short span.
Well, I feel like it's really only 16 weeks, so it could work if it's in November. They do those 8 weeks until and then you just do 8 weeks in the new year,
right?
And then by March you wouldn't be playing football anymore. You would have an off season until September, or if it's not March, by April. To me, that's still enough time, at least for the most players. Because football injuries is something that we can't even imagine. But for most players, that would be enough time.
Yeah. So the next question is pretty much topic is that Megatron went on the DB Room recently. If you have not seen that video, go on to the DB Room with Glover Quinn. Fantastic content. And he was interviewing Calvin Johnson. And he said he did not want to get drafted by Detroit. What do you think about that, Real? When you hear that, what is your initial reaction?
My initial reaction is sadness. That. It's not even funny. It's really sad to hear one of your icons.
Are you for real?
What do you mean? Am I for real? I'm sad to hear that.
Are you serious? I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not. I'm being serious.
Are you? What? Okay, let me just put it this way. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that he didn't want to come to Detroit. But of course, I'm sad. What do you mean? He played for this city. He didn't say a word about not wanting to be here. He. What do you mean? He hasn't said one word about not loving the city of Detroit and whatever. And he was a good person in the community and all that. And when he left, it was all about his money and stuff. He never said a word about Detroit or how bad it is or anything. I understand that players don't want to come here when they're free agents and stuff. And I understand that some people don't want to be drafted here. But when an icon comes through here, like Stafford or Calvin Johnson or Barry Sanders, and you hear how much, okay, Barry Sanders is still here. You get what I'm saying? Barry Sanders, he could say he doesn't want to, but he's still damn here. Billy Sims is still here. There's a lot of people that are still in Detroit that love the city. Glover Quinn, he loves the city. You know what I mean? Stafford, he was in during this Independence Day. He didn't have to be here. I'm just saying, it is sad for me to hear one of my icons, one of the people that I look up to and loved watching, and one of my favorite lines of all time, say that they never even wanted to come here. And on top of that, it just adds on and compounds to the reality that he hates the city and he hates this team for what, for the time that he was here and didn't win and then didn't get his money and all that. He honestly, it seems like he hated his whole entire experience. And it's so disappointing because I wish he would just not, it's a free country. He can say whatever he wants. I wish he didn't talk about it though, because now it just stains his legacy here. because at the end of the day, he's not going to come back and play football. This was his legacy here in Detroit. So now when anybody thinks of him playing football, it's for the Lions. So when he comes back for his Hall of Fame speech or whatever, everything he says now, when he finally does come back to the organization and helps us out or talks for us or whatever, is a spokesperson for it like Barry Sanders is today, it's going to be stained by the fact that he hated us for so long and said he never wanted to come here. Come
on. I was going to let you go. I think you're looking at this a little bit wrong. Like, did you actually see what he said?
Because if you inform me, because that's all I heard. That's all I heard.
I watched it live. He literally said 4 teams he didn't want to go to before he said he didn't want to go to the Lions. And then he said he wanted to go to Atlanta because that was his hometown team. He literally named the Chargers, like the Rams. He named like 2 other teams, and then he named the Lions. So he wasn't picking on the Lions. He literally talked about all of the teams that he didn't want to go there. He said he didn't want to come up here because it's cold. I mean, Kerryon talks about how it's cold, and he wanted to play for Atlanta. Went to school with college in Atlanta, and this was not a Detroit bashing and his legacy. He's talking about he hated here. No. Slow down a little bit. And Calvin is literally my favorite football player ever. He's the reason. Like, I was watching football obviously before he drafted, but he's the reason I love football. But I watched the whole interview. That was not what you're thinking, and I don't think it's a big deal at all because, like I said, he said other teams before, and he wanted to play for his hometown team. I don't know who don't want to play for their hometown team. If Matthew Stafford said he wanted to be a Falcon because it was in Georgia, even though he's from Texas, so if he said he wanted to be a Cowboy, would I be upset? No, he's from Texas. So, and I just think it's the same thing with Calvin. And it's not something to read that deep into because I'm not surprised. Most players want to play for their hometown team, and there's plenty of players that don't go where they want to go. Do you really think Stafford wanted to come here? Come on.
No.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, he named other teams before the Lions, and the main reason was he wanted to be home, and he didn't want to go to some of the northern teams because it was cold. And that's just how he feel, man. Like, if you watched it when he said it, like I watched it live, it was not no Detroit. Like you went way off the rails. Like it was
okay, but it's not just north. It's not just north because it's cold. He said St. Louis Rams. They were St. Louis at the times. Who the hell wants to go to St. Louis? Nobody. Who wants to go to San Diego when there's nobody in the stadium? Nobody. It's not cold there. It's just trash, dude. No, man. Nobody wants to go there. Just like nobody wants to come here. It just sucks that he has to say it. And it compounds on all of the things he's already said about our team. It just sucks, dude. It blows because he's one of the greatest players to ever be in this franchise. It sucks. And I agree with you.
I'm not looking at it that way. I think you read too much into it because he was asked. He was literally asked this question, and he didn't single us out at all. Like this right here. I think you're looking at it a bit wrong, and maybe you should go watch how he actually said what he said and what he said verbatim because the media take an article. Like I was so upset the next day where I'm like, and I saw articles about that. I'm like, why are they putting articles about that? It's not like he said anything serious. I was watching, and I just think it's not like he's just trying to bash the team or anything. Like you actually think Matthew Stafford wanted to be here, and somebody asks him, he gonna be like, yeah, I wanted to be in Detroit. No,
you know what, JMO?
When he's retired, no, he's not. Like that's just the fact of the matter. And to me, he wanted to be drafted by his hometown team. He wanted to go 7th overall. He didn't even want to go top 3. He literally wanted to go 7th to the Falcons. That's what he said. That's not a personal. It wasn't no personal attack on us. And he hasn't really. Only thing he's been mad about was his money, but he hasn't really trashed Matthew Stafford or the Ford family. And he liked Caldwell, so I don't know about that, man. I really think you're looking at this a bit wrong.
You know what? I will say that is 100% fair, and I do have to see the context of that because I was reading it off an article, and I will go to the DB Room on YouTube. You guys should check him out. It's Glover Quinn. He's one of the most vocal players that we've had in a long time, and he was a captain on our team for a long time. He's amazing, so go check out his stuff. I love his interviews with our former teammates, and I do have to check that out. Hey, JMO, you're 100% right. I was just reading into the articles, so you know what? It is out of context, and I do got to check that out.
You know what though? Hold up, where is it? Not a Lions fan, but makes a great point. You know, if they don't want to be here, like you didn't have to sign an extension. You could have went to any team after your initial contract. So it's just interesting. I feel like the people that they don't want to come to Detroit, they end up loving it when they finally get here and they want to stay. You know, or they have a home here still or something. You know, a lot of people sleep on Michigan because they've never been here. You know, so when players finally come, they love it.
When I was talking about LaMelo, and I was saying that he spent a lot of time here, and I was saying what you were saying. Like most of the celebrities that come here, you're either going to be downtown, midtown, Metro Detroit, or the suburbs. You're not really going to be in the hood, most likely, unless you're going to see basketball games in the hood like Melo did. But once you get to those places that I named before, you're going to be like, oh, it's pretty cool here. Because I remember when Blake Griffin came here, and he was like, oh, it's not that bad over here. So it's just like, I mean, like, look, he was, though. Like,
he didn't miss those Kardashians over in California.
My backyard is for this amount of money. Like, it was funny. And Devin 99 said he still has a house here. So, like, he still, like, why can't we just pay this man his money, man? Like, we had to get Barry his money. We didn't want to. Y'all remember what we did with Barry Sanders? We didn't want to get this man his money, and we tried to be stubborn. What happened? We gave him his money, and now he's back. Just get his man his money. Like, come on, man. Like, we need Calvin in that receiver room.
Calvin made so much damn money, though. So it's not like he didn't make a crap ton. Like, dude,
no, it's about
$1 million.
I don't even think it don't matter how much money they were giving back. It doesn't matter if it was 100,000. To me, it's more about principle, and I think that's where he's coming from.
I feel
Barry Sanders was just as angry about this.
Hey, back then though.
Well, listen, they need to teach players to not sign a damn contract if you don't want to follow through with that contract. You understand? Like, dude, there's a certain amount of money you're guaranteed. There's a certain amount of money you're not guaranteed. When you leave a contract 8 years early or however many years early Calvin Johnson did, you're forfeiting a certain amount of money. That's what happens in a contract. In anywhere in the world, this happens. So, listen, I get it. And you know what? Maybe we should pay him back his money. But, yeah. And at this point,
I've already had that conversation with DSA millions of times. That's just like, we'll be talking in circles all day. Like, yeah. I've been on both sides at certain times too. So like,
yeah,
I just feel like if it would just be better for the organization. Like, to me, look at the cap space right now. Like, you can't give him a meal. Like, come on, y'all not gonna use it. Of course they would use it, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, like, that wouldn't even be cap space at this point. It would
like that's not like it's just like and just burn the brick because and you know I know what you're saying, but they did the same thing with Barry Sanders. They did give him the money. Eventually, they made advances, and there's no way a Hall of Famer like Cap, you're not gonna be ostracized. Like, you're gonna have to pay him unless he just drops it. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to pay it eventually. That's the way I look at it. And then people be like, "Well, forget him. You know, F you, good riddance. We don't want you anyway." The man a Hall of Famer, dog. Don't be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So really, you got anything else to say about this, or I'm gonna go?
Well, I will just say, like, look what the Colts did with Andrew Luck. They paid him all his money. He didn't have to. Right. They didn't have to do that, but they did. So if we want to be a franchise that's looked up to like the Colts, then we should do that. But yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
So, J-Mo, you're going to love this, man. So, pretty much, it came out recently that teams are not finalizing contracts over fears of that the season could be canceled and that they're not going to be able to get their money back due to not having that income coming in from the games and concessions and all that. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, like... What do you mean not finalizing contracts? Like players that we're going to sit out, or you're saying players that are free agents? Because like you're just going to lose those players then.
Once this stuff with the whole quarantining and everything came out, you know, people are skeptical and not many people are getting those extensions. So I guess it's more extensions and contracts. So like a lot of free agents, I haven't heard a single free agent being signed in a long time, you know, and like things like Galladay, like J-Mo's been preaching every single ending. He's just like, sign Kenny Galladay before I lose my damn mind. You know what I'm saying? But like now, right. Love that impression. Dude, now that it's come out that people are just fearful because they don't want to lose out on all that money this year, I'm like, yo, I get it. I 100% get it, because if you're giving out millions of dollars and then we end up not having the season and you still have to pay them, that's just awful, So I feel like a lot of people are hesitant, So
Yeah, I just feel like it's good business. But eventually they do have to sign Galladay. It's not like, yes, they like the extension. If it happens sooner than later, then yes, that's good. But the reason we wanted the extension to happen was because if we don't extend Galladay and then he goes out right now in this 2020 season and balls out, he's going to demand so much more.
Bro.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I know, I said that's not an if. As long as he's healthy, it's a wrap.
Right. But if there's no season, then I get it. If there's like hardly a season and there's just a few games, then I get it. Then why pay him? Just wait till next year, because then you're just gonna have to pay him the guarantees for this year. So I get it.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like when I heard this, I'm like, honestly, that makes so much sense, because it's the same thing with the free agents. When you sign a free agent that's like a little bit older or something, it's usually a 1-year deal. Could you imagine we brought in Mike Daniels again and we actually brought in Everson Griffin or something, and then we signed them to 1-year deals and we literally don't have a season? That would just be freaking awful.
That's why they need to put a escape clause in all of the deals for the first year. So
I feel you, but like
if the season is ending, we're gonna give you X amount of money because we still got to give you something, and then we taking the rest of our money back because there wasn't no season. Like,
I have a hard time with that though, like another year down the road, like I don't know if Everson Griffin's still gonna be in peak form and like all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like that's
no, but I get it. I get it though, because I feel like for long-term contracts, you should do it. But the thing with them is they don't want to pay a year of money, no matter how long, no matter if it don't matter who it was that was up. It don't matter if it was Mahomes. They like, we don't want to give you $20 million, then there's not a season. We just gave you $20 million for free. So it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter what player, and I understand why they feel this way. But at the end of the day, greedy, money hungry guys just trying to find another way not to pay somebody. But and I'm being honest, that's really what's going on. Yeah, it's COVID. We're concerned it's not going to be a season. Y'all know good and well if y'all have to play 8 games, it's going to be a season. Stop playing. Like, I have so much faith, and it's not because I like the NFL. It's because proof is in the pudding. I have so much faith it's going to be a season. Like, I have no doubt. Like, if it's not a season, that means over half the nation got COVID or something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know. I'm 100% with you.
A season. The NFL, I'm telling you, if they got to make it 8 games, if they got to cut down the play, like whatever they have to do, they will find a way to finesse a season. If they literally got to take everybody to a private island,
Well, here's the thing. If it is 8 games, Danny Amendola isn't getting $6 million guaranteed for one season. You know what I mean? So that's what they're worried about. They want to see what's going to actually happen in this season. Is it going to be 8 games? Is it going to be a full season? What's going to happen? We don't want to throw out all these guarantees for like single season contracts and whatnot. And then, there's like half a season or something, and then you overpaid for somebody. But yeah, I'm with you, J-Mo. Like, there's going to be a season. There's no way they're going to let all that money go out the window unless, something crazy happens like this pandemic is like out of this world and like half the league has it or something.
You know what though? That whole guaranteed money thing, I get certain positions and certain players because like they've been balling or whatever, but like, why the hell do teams give out so much guaranteed money for people that have never played for them? Or like an older player? I'm like, bro,
what you mean?
Make it incentive based. I feel like
it's probably off reputation if you're talking about that.
Well, okay, let me just rephrase this, I guess. Basically, sports would be more interesting if players had to bust their ass on the field every Sunday to make their paycheck instead of having all this guaranteed money. And they could be like, oh, you know what? I'm slightly hurt. I'm going to sit out. Oh, you know what? We're already having a losing season. I'm not going to do anything. Like, dude, if your paycheck depended on it, I guarantee you, if you were freaking 0-15, you're going to see this player busting their ass for that paycheck.
The problem is that teams they compete for different players in free agency. Like if we're all teams and I'm an owner, you're an owner, J-Mo's an owner, and Galladay's up for a contract, and you're giving him a strictly incentive, laden deal, and then I offer him something with high guarantees. but it's the same exact deal for the same amount of money. But for yours, he has to play the full season. He has to do all these things to get that money. But for me, it's just guaranteed. He's going to choose me. So at the end of the day, they're just choosing who has the highest guaranteed contracts. That's why teams.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I hope no NFL player listens to what you just said, because they'll hate you.
No. Look, like, I'm saying it as a whole.
No, their contract should be guaranteed. But at the end of the day, what you said is why the NFL don't want to guarantee contracts, which is, to me, I think it's just weak. They need to guarantee some contract, at least just to some level. Like, it don't have to be like basketball, but just to some level, it has to be something that you have to be able to get. Because like a team, it don't matter who you are, a team can cut you. No matter who you are or how much you're making, they can cut you if they really want to. Yeah. And like, to me, that's just not good.
I have the solution, but owners aren't going to like it. Look, the solution is contracts are fully guaranteed, except, listen, when you get injured, your salary does not count against the cap. That allows a team, once you're injured, to put you on IR or to release you and then go get somebody with their extra. Maybe not release you. Maybe that wouldn't be fair. But put you on IR and then your salary doesn't count towards the cap, so they can use that money to get somebody else or to trade or do something. Because right now, it makes no sense.
But don't they still have to pay you too, though?
They still have to pay you, but it doesn't count towards the cap. It doesn't count towards the cap. That's what I would say. And yeah, like the owners, that would suck for the owners. But like, let's be serious. The owners are making millions upon millions.
Like, how could you, like, what would be the point of guaranteed contract if you can just release somebody?
The point is that the player gets his money. The point is that the player gets his money, so the player's happy.
Look, I get where the players come from when they're like, yo, I need some money. Like, I'm risking my body and all this. But at the same time, like, you see it every year. Once someone gets paid and your team isn't doing that well or whatever, they just don't care, bro. Like, I get what you're saying, real. But, like, let's put it this way. Let's say
some people deserve to get paid, bro.
Yeah, but, like, let's say, you know, we gave Slay his extension and we signed him for like 15 mil a freaking year or whatever. And then he's just like, yeah, I hate Patricia, so I'm just going to sit on the bench. What are you going to do about that? It's you guarantee him the money and you gave him a contract extension.
Yeah, well, the next team is not going to give him a contract. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course that's going to happen. But that happens now. Players sit out now when they want an extension or if they don't like something. That happens right now.
No. I mean, like he got paid and then it's a season and he's just sitting and he's just like, I'm not playing, bro. I got my money.
He's not gonna do that, man.
Yeah, what player's gonna do
doing some crazy stuff like that, bro? Like.
Well, then that player is not gonna get another contract in the future.
Darius Slay said it himself that Matt Patricia was much better in year 2. Even if he burned the bridge in year 1, Darius Slay is man enough to recognize that his coach got better in year 2. And he said it. If the Lions would have paid me, I would have stayed.
I just have a hard time with this, man, because there's a lot of players in the past 2-3 years that are like, I'm not happy with my team. I want to trade. And like, they're just so adamant to where the team is forced to trade them, or else the player just doesn't care, bro. Like Adams, if Adams doesn't get traded, bro,
players wouldn't be doing that.
I don't know, man.
Like I know what you're talking about, Jamal Adams. Like, get me up out of here, man. But the thing is, they have to do it like that because of the way that the contracts are set up. And then when you look at it, they're doing it a year beforehand before they're free agents because a team can just cut you and toss you aside. I mean, if Derrick Henry got a contract, you're not going to tell me he didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he is that team. That team is nothing without him. But then they'll be like, well, look at Todd Gurley. Well, Todd Gurley is unfortunate, but do they make the Super Bowl without Todd Gurley? No. So what are we saying here? Like, so he gave y'all something, and I just feel like it's a lot of situations like that. Like, that's why you Christian McCaffrey and Ezekiel Elliott get those groundbreaking, record-breaking deals. Maybe teams believe in them more, but to me, it's no difference between those guys and a guy like Derrick Henry. But I just feel like the way the contracts are set up, you have to hold out or you're not going to get paid. It's just the way it is. Unless you're like a guy like Darius Slay, where you're such a good player, people are going to pay you. Chris Jones, Jamal Adams, like these elite or close to elite level players are going to get paid. But these running backs, specifically, because the league hates running backs, but these running backs, they got to hold out. Some of these defensive linemen, they have to hold out. So,
yeah, we should move on to the next topic though. So listen, I'm gonna skip I don't know what you were going to ask, Andrew, but I'm going to skip to Adams. So Devontae Adams said that we never disguised our coverage. So listen, he watched 200 clips of Darius Slay, and he said that the Lions do not disguise their coverages. He knows when Darius Slay is lining up man, lining up zone, and when he lines up in zone, he does not chase the receiver. And when he lines up man, he changes the receiver every single time. So he was basically saying that he knows our playbook. He knows what we're going to do, and we're not disguising our coverages. So we did talk about this on the roundtable, but Andrew, you weren't there. So what did you think about this? How much do you think this affects, the games, and like how much do you think this how bad does this look for Patricia? Is
Dude,
what I want to ask.
So when I first read this, I know everyone's reaction. They're all like, "Oh, this is awful," or this and that. Dude, what he said, if you actually watch football and you know anything about football, is obvious. Bro, if you're playing man coverage, look, if you're playing man coverage and I'm Darius Slay and you're Devontae Adams, bro, if they send Devontae Adams in motion, I'm following him. I am 100% following him. That we're not a team where we have two number one cornerbacks. We had Slay. And then we had Rashaan Melvin.
Okay, what if they don't put him in motion? What are you talking about, bro? Like the point is that let's say Devontae Adams is on the outside, okay, and Darius Slay is lined up against him, and he knows Darius Slay is playing zone, and he knows he's not going to chase him down on the post route. He knows that. How is that not bad? We're not disguising our coverages. We're not pretending we're playing zone. We're actually playing man. We're not doing anything. We're not pretend blitzing or nothing. We knew that we weren't blitzing. Everybody knew we weren't going to blitz. Everyone knew exactly what we were doing. No, this is ridiculous. If it's a fact, if it's so true, and it's true with every single team, how come we didn't say this about any other? How come we didn't say this about the Vikings?
Bro, no. I don't even care about that, bro. What are you talking about? Patrick Mahomes, he barely could do crap against us. If it's so obvious, a elite level quarterback should be able to obliterate your defense. Did Mahomes obliterate us? No. Aaron Rodgers freaking had his worst career game against us, bro. Like, what are you saying?
Dude, our defense got destroyed by everyone. It doesn't matter if a couple games it worked or whatever. We had, first of all, in the beginning of the season, we had health. We had players still healthy and whatever. We were doing well in the beginning of the season. We all admit that. In the beginning of the season, we were doing pretty damn well. We didn't the rest of the damn season, and that included both Packers games.
So let's put it this way. Patricia is known as a defensive guru, whatever, right? He's using the same freaking scheme he used for years that equated to a top 10 defense. Nothing's changed. Literally nothing has changed. So the fact that Adam says this, you're just like, oh my God, that's awful. What? What are you saying, bro? We've had this defense.
What are you saying? Exactly. What are you saying, Andrew?
I was gonna say it like this.
What?
Does Devontae Adams torch us every game or no?
Bro, I don't care.
No,
answer the question.
Even if he gets 300 receiving yards, it does not matter as a whole your offense is not clicking.
Don't try to put the context of his numbers to downplay him. Answer the question.
Bro, it's a team sport. It's a team sport.
And that's like somebody telling me. That's like somebody telling me in basketball, hey man, I know how y'all gonna guard me every time. I know every time y'all gonna draw two. So and then I'll be like, oh, so that's why you scoring 40 on us every time we play y'all. It's the same thing.
Hold on.
Devontae Adams knows what we're gonna do, and he goes out there and he torches us every single time, and that's not good at all.
Am I mistaken? Did you not? Hold up, J-Mo. Hold up. Am I not mistaken? Is this the same Green Bay Packers that did not lead for a single second in both games? Bro, y'all are fucking tripping.
Played in one of those games, though.
Did not lead? What do you?
Bro, the Packers were not up on us in either of those games until they kicked the freaking field goal for the win, bro. You guys are making it seem like
what's your point?
He knew our defense and they destroyed us, bro. What happened? Aaron Rodgers threw 1 billion incompletions. Adam,
because he was overthrowing and playing like ass.
Okay, but look, that's like saying that's like saying I have every answer to a test and you fucking get a D- on the test.
Dude,
bro, what? 300 yards
offense was still doing really well. Sorry, J-Mo. Let me go ahead. You know what, J-Mo, go ahead.
No, like I say, it's not about. It's about how efficient he is, and the fact that he knows our defense. There is nothing you can tell me about somebody knowing somebody else's defense. And people say, "Well, everybody knows everybody's defense in the league." No, they don't, because you look at other teams and defenses are confused. You don't know what the other team is gonna do. They blitzing you, they rushing you, they dropping in coverage, and they confusing everything. And you don't know what the other cornerback is gonna do on every play. There are defenses like that in the NFL. And so what I'm saying is the fact that he knows that, and then it shows with actual results on the field, is a little bit alarming to me. And Devontae Adams, just like Slay, he's out there by himself. So he doesn't have anybody to really help him do anything. So, of course, he can't win a game alone. But at the end of the day, Patricia needs to learn how to, maybe switch up some coverages. It's not that hard to do. I don't understand how being more complex could be a detriment. And then we just go like, oh, it doesn't matter. Everybody does it. What? Everybody wasn't 32nd of pass defense. So whatever we doing obviously ain't good.
Thank you.
Bro, y'all are tripping, okay?
We were last in the league.
Bro,
we're the worst defense in the league.
Okay, so what you're saying is if it worked for 10 years straight and then you have one awful year, that means the system's fucking broke?
What?
Like, what are you saying? Bro, hold on. No. You guys are like Devontae Adams torched him, bro. 7 receptions for 93 yards and a touchdown. Cool. He had a good game. They scored 23 points against us both games. How is that destroying us? Like, you guys are making it sound like we got obliterated. Did you see what he did to Slay or no? What?
Did you see what he did to Slay or what he does to Slay?
Bro, 7 receptions for 93 yards? Like, what? Like, he didn't even have a 100-yard game, bro.
What? What are you talking about?
He didn't even have a 100-yard game, and you guys are like,
7 yards. Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, those 7 yards are huge, bro.
He didn't have it he had 93 yards. He didn't have a 100-yard game.
Bro, look, you guys are I don't even understand where you guys are coming from right now.
Andrew. Hold on. Andrew, we were the worst motherfucking defense in the league. And then somebody tells us that they knew we weren't disguising anything. And we knew that because we blitzed the least in the whole league. Patricia hasn't done this. You're saying that he did this on the Patriots.
Yes.
He wasn't the least blitzing. No, he was not. He wasn't. God, bro. He was not the least blitzing in the league. Okay, go look it up.
Did this research. No, he is known. He is historically known.
Good. They were not elite.
Bro, chill for one second. His defenses were historically known for not blitzing. He always has had one of the lowest percentages in terms of rushing the passer. And on top of that, I don't care how many fucking yards you give up, bro. It's all about the points. When he was the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, he was producing top 10 scoring defenses, and that's all that matters. You can give up 1,000 yards in a game, but as long as you hold them out of the end zone, that's what matters. What happened second half of last season? We were fine. What happened when he was the Patriots defense coordinator? Was anyone like, you know what? You're not disguising your defenses enough. No, you're supposed to freaking adjust and execute your damn position, bro.
You disguise your defenses. So Nick Foles, a damn backup quarterback, come into the Super Bowl and drop 40 points on you. That's why you disguise your defenses. Turn them boys into mint meat, had Nick Foles looking like Joe Montana. Like, what you talking about, man? Come on. Hey, that's why he's not there no more. Let's be real about it.
Why didn't he say it about the Bears? Why didn't he say about the Vikings? Why didn't he say about anybody?
Bro, everyone shits on the Lions. It doesn't matter, bro. Look, literally, like I said, if you have all the answers,
based, that has no logic behind it, dude. That makes no, dude.
Okay, hold up. Yo, you guys are making it seem like the Packers have just murdered us because we're so predictable the last 2 years, even though they've struggled to freaking beat us. Like, I don't understand.
Maybe they're beating us. Maybe they're beating us because of that reason.
Packers. It's about Patricia. That's my thing. And I'm looking at the stats. Devontae Adams against Patricia, and the first time 9 catches, 140 yards.
Hold up, my boy. I'm
about to look up the next game. Like, bro, this boy be cooking us.
My boy PD Sports just came through, bro. The last 5 games against the Lions, 6 receptions, 31 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cool. They fucking keep on the end zone, 31 yards. 2 receptions, 23 yards and a touchdown. 7 receptions, 53 yards. 9 receptions, 140 yards. And then 7 receptions, 90
beforehand weren't against Patricia. His first game against Patricia in 2018, when Patricia got hired, was 9 receptions, 140 yards. The games beforehand was with Jim Caldwell and Terrell Austin.
Bro, what are you saying? He just said the last 5 games. Patricia has coached 4 of the last 5 games.
His first game was in 2018, and Devontae Adams had 9 receptions for 140 yards.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. We
Okay,
beat the
but the
Packers
other
in
ones are
2018.
also-
That was the first time. Those other games, Devontae, it was a different defense.
Hey man, all I'm saying is he had one really good game. He had an
7
above-average game,
receptions,
and the other
93
ones he got
yards and a
shut down,
touchdown is
bro.
Also a good game.
Look, 6 receptions, 31 yards. That's
That
trash.
wasn't against Patricia's
What are
defense.
2 receptions, 23 yards. Trash.
It wasn't against Patricia's defense.
I don't know, bro.
Why
Last
did you
5
tell me
games,
that?
I don't know. Only one of these games is not against Patricia's defense. I don't know what you're saying.
I'm literally looking at the game in 2018, 31-23. That's Matt Patricia's first year.
Okay.
Devontae Adams had 9 catches for 140 yards.
How about the game after that?
The game after that, that's when we
'Cause
blew
we
him out
sucked at the
31-0.
beginning of the
season. He didn't
And
play
Aaron
in
Rodgers wasn't
2019.
playing, and
He
Devontae
didn't-
Adams did not play in that game.
Right.
And then the next game he played was this year. And he didn't play in the first game because he was injured. The next game he played was this year. He had 7 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown.
And we
Right.
also had our
So he's
whole
only
defense
played Patricia
obliterated,
twice.
bro.
So you're
He only
talking
played
about
him twice.
so it's only 2 times. I get PD. Thank you for the stats, but like only 2 of those games were relevant. The 3 other games was with Caldwell. So like, nah, like dude. Okay, regardless, honestly, it doesn't even matter.
The 2 games he faced Patricia defense, he torched them.
Look, all I'm saying is it comes down to if you have the answers, you know what we're going to do. Why are they not just murdering us? Why is someone like Aaron Rodgers, who people literally say is the
They
GOAT?
don't have to murder.
Okay, but why is he not able to just dissect us, like absolute shit all over us, if it's so easy to know what the coverage is?
I just gave you the number. 9 catches for 140 yards.
Hold up, bro, but it's still a team sport. Why is the rest of the offense not
Okay,
like that?
okay. So why are you eliminating half the team then? Because
I'm not.
Why didn't he shit on us?
really
He
well.
did. Oh,
So you're saying, we only won by a few points. You're saying we only won by a few points because our offense was doing damn well. So like, what is
Bro.
Devontae Adams supposed to play defense too? What do you want him to do?
If I have the freaking playbook for another team and I know exactly what they're doing, and I only scored 23 points, and I have Aaron Rodgers under center, bro, shame on you. No, that shit don't matter, bro.
He said I knew. He didn't say me and the rest of the receivers knew everything that they were doing.
Bro,
Also,
I mean, he's just like man coverage, zone coverage.
Also, if the other team's offense is clicking, you only have a certain amount of possessions that you can get to execute. And guess what? They executed on those possessions and they fucking won the game.
Look,
so like, what does it matter?
This is when my buddy Hater's House just came through again. We were up 24-0 in the first half. So what are you going to do? You're going to play some prevent-ass defense, just like they did against the Cardinals to allow a shit ton of yards.
Watch the games now. I watched the game. In the first half, Devontae Adams was cooking. I watched the game.
Hey, but they had 0 points.
Y'all got married. I mean, yeah, they had 0 points, but that wasn't Devontae's fault. He was doing his job.
It is what it is, man. Look, all I know is shame on you, bro. If you know the coverage that well, fucking go tell the other wide receivers in the room, bro. Let everyone just push the defense. Like, what do you mean? Like, damn.
Listen, regardless, it sucks that anybody is talking about this with the Lions because it just goes in line with what we saw with Caldwell with the Jets. Okay, so Caldwell was an offensive-minded coach, and the Jets knew all of our offensive plays. And now Patricia's a defensive-minded coach, and now the Packers know all of our fucking defenses. It just,
bro,
it really makes me irritated.
We got a mole in the franchise that is just Don Muleback. I swear, he's just giving out our playbook.
Don Muleback 2020.
Dude, but also, okay, let's put it this way, though. Regardless of what Adam said, bro, if you know football, man coverage is very easy to spot, especially with what the Packers offense adjusted to. They have a lot of people motioning. When you motion and you have a dominant cornerback, you're going to have that cornerback shadow that wide receiver. So regardless of like whatever, it's not hard to really understand what's going on. And like, yeah, I get it. You can disguise well. Like there's teams like the Vikings, they bring Harrison Smith up in the box and then boom, he's back like cover 3 or something like that. But like, dude, that I don't know, man. Like if you do your research and
then I look at the results and like you can say with the Lions, it's just like everybody else, but our team is the only team that's the worst in the league. It matters. Like it matters.
But where was this? Where was this at the end of the season before?
Yeah, but we're losing games. You know what I'm saying?
But where was this
watching Darius
before?
Slay getting manhandled because he knows the coverages like that matters.
Look, where was this at the end of 2018 when our defense was killing people? Bro, it was working. Like, what was the problem then? If he still knew the freaking the
talking
defense.
about Devontae Adams. We ain't talking about our defense. What?
I'm talking. No, the whole thing is he said our defense is predictable, right? So why was everyone struggling against our defense at the end of 2018?
I don't care. What about this year,
bro?
First of all, our defense was.
He's going off of last year. He ain't going off 2018. He going off of what he just did.
We all know this year was shit, bro. Our whole team got hurt.
Because I don't want to hear injuries. 27 Arizona tie. Like, come on. Come on. Only time they played defense was against Mahomes and against Phillip Rivers. If that guy didn't drop a touchdown, I hate to say it, we lose versus the Eagles. He dropped a touchdown.
Right.
Like, come on.
Bro, also that Packers game, bro, we all know we got cheated out by the refs. So let me just throw that in there because I'm a Lions fan.
Or Slay. I don't think Slay played either.
Well, Devontae Adams didn't play that one, just saying. But anyway, regardless, listen, we have difference of opinion. That's great. All right, so moving on to the next thing. Listen, so, all right, so we don't have any wide receivers that are, any starting wide receivers that we have currently starting on contract after this season is over. So honestly, like, what do you think about that? Where do you think we should go from here? Andrew, what do you think about that, man?
Dude, honestly, like, it makes me think that if we don't get it done right now, that we're just going to ship out a lot of people, bro. Because everyone knows we're not moving Stafford this year. But after this year, it's a possibility. We're going to take a cap hit if we move him. But, like, dude, if you move Stafford, I would not be surprised if they're like, yo, next draft, we're going to grab quarterback round 1. We're going to grab a young wide receiver round 2. And we're going to go sign a free agent wide receiver that's a little bit young but has a lot of talent or some crap. So, like, it's concerning because it makes me think of the future and where our offense is going. And it's already scary to think that in a couple of years we could not have Stafford. So to not have Stafford, and then also, we're going to lose Marvin Jones, who's been a staple in our offense. We're going to lose Galladay potentially. Like, I think we'll sign him, but it's just like, it's very concerning, So you can't just constantly replace when it comes to wide receivers. It's worked. We brought in Marvin Jones. People are like, what the hell? He's like the second, third receiver there. We brought in Golden Tate, same situation. We brought in, Amendola, same situation. And Stafford makes them look so good. But what happens when we don't have Stafford? You're going to need better receivers. So it's very unsettling.
Yeah, I think we need to extend Amendola.
I'll slap the shit out of you.
Man, I was about to be like, bro, that's not cute, man.
You said it so serious. I was like, I can't tell if he's serious. I'm like, nah.
Listen, I think we need to resign Marvin Jones, though. I'm serious about that.
You think we need to resign Marvin Jones? I'm gonna disagree with that. Listen, I think we need to resign Galladay. I think we need to see how Cephus works out, and I think we need to see how Marvin Hall works out. But I mean, I think regardless, we're going to be in the market for a wide receiver next year, regardless of what happens. But number one thing,
who's a guy you want over Marvin Jones next year? Right now, let's be realistic. Like, I'm not a Marvin Jones homer or anything. I just feel like, why get rid of a great receiver? Who are you going to replace him with?
Hey, if I'm not there at the negotiating table, so I can't say whether re-signing Marvin Jones is a smart decision or not. If he's coming back for a relatively good amount of money, fine. But if we're gonna have to break the bank for both Galladay and Marvin Jones, I'm choosing Galladay, and then I'm choosing maybe a cheaper option for the Marvin Jones spot. But specifically, I want somebody that has speed. I want somebody that has incredible breakaway speed. And we don't have that on our team besides Marvin Hall. But Marvin Hall, we really use him on like the trick plays. You know what I mean? They're not necessarily trick plays, but like plays that the defense doesn't see coming. Like, we'll just chuck it up there and whatever. If they really saw Marvin Hall coming and they really tried to prevent it, I don't know how it would work out. I don't think that he would really, be as successful as he has been. But he's been amazing. I'm willing to see how he does this year. But, I want somebody with speed, somebody that gets separation, somebody that, is a sound route runner. And not saying that Marvin Jones isn't those things, but he's more of a catch the contested ball type of guy, not the, break out, get 5 yards of separation and get the catch, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and JMO, like, just to kind of touch basis on that.
It's not that many guys in the league that are so great at getting separation among the elite receiver. Like D-Hop isn't a burner. Mike Evans isn't a burner. Yeah, you have Tyreek Hill, but that's one guy. A lot of the top receiver, I mean, of course, some guys are fast, like Julio's fast, but
we have a guy like those guys.
Like Galladay he's fast enough, but like he's not a burner and he's as good as he is. So I don't know if you need to have that receiver in order to be a team that wins, because a lot of teams win without that receiver.
Well, let me put it this way. Teams that have those guys typically also have somebody that can get separation. So we already have that guy. We have our Hopkins, our Julio Jones in Galladay, but we don't have that Will Fuller type player. We don't have that, Mike Evans has Godwin.
Calvin Ridley.
I mean, Calvin Ridley, I guess. But yeah, I'm saying like majority of these teams have both. And I think that it makes the offense very dynamic because you could do different things. So I don't know. I think it's very important to have both. And we don't have that. We have two of the same type of guy. And not saying that that's a bad thing. It's been great so far. But I don't know. I think going forward, maybe we should look at other options. But I wouldn't be opposed to bringing back Marvin Jones for the right price at all.
So Marvin Jones, though, man, the guy is 30. He's had a couple injuries. It's just concerning because, like, dude, once you hit that 30 mark and you're a skill player, you usually see a decline. And I'm not saying that he's declined yet because he's still performing at a top level.
Yeah, wide receivers is a little bit different, though.
I know, but like, dude, it's so hard. Like in his situation, he's a bigger receiver that like Real said, he's a bigger receiver that goes up and he catches in traffic. It's going to be harder to make those plays. Like he's not a very cerebral route runner or something where it's like, yeah, I can have you go till 33, 34, whatever, keep playing wide receiver. Like he's a catch in traffic. I'm going to get a little bit of separation type player.
Marvin Jones is a good route runner?
He is not an elite route runner. I mean, he's an all right route runner, but like, dude, our wide receivers are known for not getting separation. That's our biggest flaw in terms of our wide receivers is they don't get the separation like other players. Like there was a stat, like I read this like last year, dude. The stat was literally like our wide receivers are bottom 10 in terms of
the separation stat, but Lions fans I don't know why y'all so obsessed with this. Like I haven't known for the longest because that doesn't keep us from winning or losing games. Separation with receivers.
But James, that's the thing though.
Like Lions fans have been upset. Y'all continue to be obsessed with this. I don't know why. When we had Calvin Johnson, we didn't have that person. We got Golden Tate, and he was the perfect complement, and he's not that kind of receiver. I mean, that's
cool have that person.
I'm not obsessed with this super burner guy that's just gonna be. I'm not obsessed with it like that. We got Marvin Hall, we got guys like Agnew, we got guys like Jason Huntley. We'll be fine.
But it's not necessarily just a separation aspect of it. Like you need a dynamic.
It is. That's the only argument.
It's that and the route running.
I think he's a very solid route runner, and he catches the ball, and he has chemistry with Stafford. He knows when will routes to run at certain times.
But it's the fact that
game situation.
It's the fact that Stafford has to make these crazy ass throws instead of an easy. Oh, this guy's in the middle of the zone. Let me hit him real quick. Most of the time, he's making very tight window throws. If you have a guy that can get into the middle of the zone or just create that separation, Stafford's going to hit that throw with ease. So you don't have to have those contested catches, which limits turnovers. And there's just a lot of pros. Like I'm not saying that's all you need because you still need a guy that can go up and get it like a Galladay, like Marvin Jones, whatever, but you need another guy that can create that separation quickly so that you have a blanket. And I know we brought in Hockenson and he should, create those mismatches, but like it helps having a wide receiver do that. And that's why Golden Tate was so effective in our scheme is because he was able to create that separation pretty quickly. And he was able to kind of control the whole middle of the field so that Calvin could just ball the fuck out, so that Galladay could ball out, so that Marvin Jones could ball out, and it helps the dynamic of the offense. And I think with Galladay, along with Hockenson, because we actually have a tight end, for once, and then DeAndre Swift carry on, if you have that wide receiver to complement Kenny Galladay on the other side that can create separation, it would just be fantastic. And I don't think we've ever seen that as an offense. I think we've gotten close and we've had good offenses. It's not that. I just think that we could go even higher if we had that other player alongside our bigger receiver to just kind of, create holes in the defense.
Yeah, with that being said, though, look, Marvin Jones, I'm looking at his contract. He's making a little over $9 million this year. That's not that expensive. And if we pay him like we did Amendola this year, $6 million, I'm 100% down to keep him. It's just, what's his price tag going to be? Because we're going to have to break the bank for Golladay.
Like, he's not in a position to ask for that much considering what's happened the last 2 seasons. So
that's fair. Yeah, he might be worth, for
I
sure.
just say you move him to the slot and you can get that other receiver, but I don't think you should get rid of him unless you're really sure whoever else you're gonna go out and get is better, because he's still like in that top 15 range. Like, he's one of the best receivers in the league. So, and then you got Golladay, and then you got Hockenson and all the other freaking weapons. No team has to be perfect. You throw him in the slot if you want to get that speed guy. You can do that, but he should still be on the team, because my thing is, and he has been getting injured, but if something happened to Kenny Golladay, what's really going to happen? Now right. Stafford going to be out here throwing to John Jones and what was his name? Chris Johnson. Like, he's going to be out here throwing to them guys. And, like, I'm throwing to Andre Roberts. Like, out there throwing to them guys, man.
You know what, though, J-Mo, honestly, you made a good point in the aspect of, like, we have Hockenson. So if Golladay goes down, we'll be able to utilize Hockenson more. Golladay goes down, we still do have Marvin Jones right now. We still do have Amendola. We have Cephas, who I think is going to be really good. We have Marvin Hall. We have Swift to throw the ball to. We have Huntley. We have a lot of other options. It just, we won't have that elite number one wide receiver. And Stafford has made average wide receivers look elite. So it would be interesting if he didn't have a true number one. It would be very interesting to see what he can do.
Especially when you pair him with Stat. Like, he literally has 1,500 yards and about 15 touchdowns if Stafford's healthy. And I don't think, like, he had 1,100. He had 4 touchdowns after Stafford got hurt over 8 games. So, I mean, it would have been much more than that. So I think he's that guy. And plus, when you have all those other guys, what you were alluding to, you don't need that guy. But hey, man, my thing is, if you want to go get that guy, then really go get him. Go, like I said, go get Odell Beckham. I don't know about AB. I don't know about none of that, but go get Tyreek Hill.
Yo, don't open up that can of worms, because me and Real will get on your ass, bro.
Let's go get AB, baby.
I don't want AB, man.
Let's go get AB. All right, but listen, guys.
Let's go get Odell, man.
Oh, yeah. I'd be down to go get Odell. Did you see that Pro Bowl game? You see that Pro Bowl game when Stafford was the MVP of the Pro Bowl and he was throwing to OBJ?
Everybody, I bet you all the people that was catching was like, dang, this dude pretty good.
Yeah, oh my God. That him and OBJ connection was, it was so good. But anyway, we had 27 people in the chat. Guys, if we could get the likes up to over 20, that'd be amazing. We really appreciate you guys. Really helps out our channel. And again, if you're a real Detroit Lions fan, please subscribe, and we're building a community out here. Us, the DSA, everything. It's awesome. The Detroit sports community on YouTube is amazing. So please join us. But as we get into our last question, we do want to say that we will answer your questions in the chat. So drop your questions right now in the chat. Anything you want to ask us, even about wearing masks in public, that'd be cool too. But anyway. The last question for you guys is, now that we've seen more quarterback signings, specifically Cam Newton signing to the Patriots for like $1 million, what do you think now about us signing Chase Daniel as our backup quarterback? J-Mo, go ahead.
Like, that's how I feel, because this is the thing. I know we wouldn't have got Cam for that, and I'm willing to debate you to the end of the earth about that. But we could have got Andy Dalton. I mean, I don't think highly of Andy Dalton, but I would take him as a backup any day of the week with our weapons. Yeah, heck yeah, I'll take Andy Dalton. So the Cam thing, I don't think that wouldn't have happened. But Cam and Andy Dalton are like 1,000 times better than Chase Daniel, even though Cam is better than Andy. We know that. And we gave him $6 million.
Bro, this shit hurts my
I had
heart.
to laugh after that because that was like the punchline right there. Like we gave this man. I mean, like Andy Dalton to me is a starting caliber quarterback. I know he wasn't good in Cincinnati, but he could be a Ryan Tannehill type guy. And then Cam Newton, top 12 QB. So
Right.
I'm kind of pissed. I honestly, like, when I think about it, I'm actually upset because I'm like, we could have just got Andy Dalton for $1 million or $2 million. Well, $6 million. I'll pay him $6 million if you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
We could have got Andy Dalton or Cam Newton for $6 million. Come on, man. What are y'all doing? I don't think Cam would have came here though at all. But what are y'all doing, man? It's just like y'all. It just made me want to throw up, honestly. Like it's just like it just puts a bad taste in my mouth. Like Andy Dalton and Cam Newton put together is only a third of Chase Daniel contract.
JMO, you're forgetting, man. We could have
And
signed
then
Cam.
Jameis Winston too.
I know, bro. We could have signed Cam, Dalton, and Winston as backups.
Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, well, he went to Carolina, but still, all of them.
Right. You know, I look at it and it infuriates me because look, we cut Devin Kennard, okay, and kept other linebackers on the team like Christian Jones, you know, and, you know, we saved about $6 million by cutting Devin Kennard. And then we go around and pay somebody like Chase Daniel to be our backup for that much money. Why not go get Tom Savage again? Why not? Yeah, go get Andy Dalton. Go get one of these guys. Anybody for a veteran minimum contract. I don't understand this at all. But there's one bright side to it, and it's that the Bears are so damn stupid.
Like a bright side. I'm like, what the hell could be a bright side on this? You said the one bright side. Like that's why I was like, the Bears can never upset me every time I watch Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson play. Like I just laughed to myself. Like because I would be in misery for 20 years if they was in Chicago.
Dude,
right.
I literally saw this
national championship and you don't take them.
Right. Dude, seriously, that's just stupid. And Trubisky was like not even on the radar to me. So I was like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh. It was just like, wow. Like Mahomes, he went 10th overall, okay. But the man won a national championship after being there the year before. And you don't take him. And y'all see what he in a terrible situation in Houston and he's still carrying him. Like, you idiot. Yup, they probably would have a Super Bowl or probably would have been to the Super Bowl. I'm being honest. Yeah. If they still got Khalil Mack, they would have been there or won one.
The Bears can definitely put a smile on their face. Dude, but this pissed me off. When I read the contract on Cam, I get it. He probably wouldn't have came here because he wants an actual shot. But in the situations like Dalton and Winston, like they know they're not going to be the starting quarterback unless something happens contract-wise or injury-wise. You know? So like if any quarterback came to the Lions, there's not a single quarterback in the free agent situation that would have came and been a starter or, you know, so I just don't get it though. Like Winston, he throws a billion picks. I get it, but at least he can keep you in games. Dalton makes stupid decisions, but he can keep you in games. So as long as you execute or your run game plays well, that our game, you can get some wins if Stafford goes down and he misses a couple weeks. All the quarterbacks we've had, literally, I cannot remember a single time in my life that our backup quarterback won the game when Stafford was out.
Or like, last time.
Dude, yeah, and that was such a bad game, actually. That was like 17-14 or something, super low scoring, you know, and I'm like, bring in someone like, dude, Dalton's made it to 4 playoff games. They lost all of them, but he's made it to 4. Jameis Winston, 5,000 yards last season. Like, come on, just do better. And people are like, you know, when we first signed Daniels, everyone's like, yeah, we got their playbook. This is awesome. And I'm like, yo, but like, you should already be scouting that team's freaking offense, defense. Like, you should have a good understanding. You don't need to pay $6 million for it. I mean, damn, bro. Like,
No, the thing that upsets me about Daniels is I keep saying that y'all be thinking I'm joking. David Blau is better than him, and I really like David Blau. I'm just
No,
gonna
I
say
agree. I agree.
Like I
Driscoll
like him as a developmental. Like, of course, you probably should have kept somebody like Driscoll on there, but I like David Blau, and I think he's better than Chase Daniel, and that's why it pissed me off. I'm like, if you were gonna, you got Blau on the team, you gonna get somebody worse than Blau? That don't make no sense.
You know what though?
Yeah.
A lot of people were super hype about Blau, and like he definitely shined sometimes, but I felt like his pocket awareness was so bad. Like the guy like panicked way too many times when he's in the
No,
pocket.
I mean, like, what pocket did he have to be aware in?
Right. But like, dude, like I'm telling you, man,
David Blau and Driscoll was looking like Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson out there, bro. Like, what y'all talking about, dog?
that's why we need a mobile quarterback.
like they were out there running for their lives. I mean, young Drisky, as I
dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just
call him young Drisky was ball David Blau, but I do like him. But you got to bring in somebody better than David Blau. That's my point.
Right.
And I really don't think Chase Daniels is.
Yeah.
Hey, Kool-Aid and Cornbread brings up a good question. Would you guys rather have Chase Daniels or Trubisky as a backup?
Trubisky.
Bro,
Who's getting paid more?
Hey,
who's getting paid less? That's not
Let me tell you something. Trubisky is garbage. But Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones can catch bad passes. Let's be 100. Like, Trubisky can throw it out of the world, and Galladay be like, "Dang, I had to do all this." Like, but with our receivers, definitely, I'm taking our team and our running backs. If everybody else is healthy, I'm definitely taking Trubisky because we don't need him to throw. We just be like, look, just throw it in Galladay direction. Maybe he'll get it. Like.
I mean, that's pretty much what happened the second half of the season. They literally just throwing it up to our wide receivers and they're making plays. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyone else got any questions? We got
I don't see any other questions.
We got 4 pages with promises as their second word in their name. So I don't know if y'all are a family, but I just thought that was
yeah. I was just saying, what's up, promise people?
What's good, y'all? What's good? I haven't seen y'all in the chat before. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Real Detroit Lions fan, man.
Right, yeah. I was just saying what's up to all you guys because there's like 3 of you guys that came on at the same time, so I just thought you guys were together, but you guys might be different, different people. Who knows?
I mean, I would hope they're different people.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what we have for you guys today. Hey, we appreciate all you guys for rocking with us. We appreciate you guys coming out here. We don't see any more questions in the chat, but hey, honestly, you guys were awesome. This chat has been, killer, awesome questions. You guys, well, at least the one question that we got, and just awesome comments throughout. We were dying laughing. It's been great. JMO, thank you for coming on as well. You're always welcome. Don't ever feel afraid to let us know to invite you 100%. And, Andrew, it's always fun rocking with you too, my brother. So,
sure.
Hey, JMO, do you have any final words for the people in the chat?
I just, it was fun. That's all I'm saying. All I got to say, I just got one word: Galladay. Hey, y'all know what I mean.
Yes, sir. Galladay, pay that man, or JMO will lose his damn mind. Hey, but for real, JMO is on his way to 1,000 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed to 313 JMO, I don't know what you're doing. He's hosting roundtables. He's hosting Above the Rim. He's doing everything for the DSA. This man is a key figure of the DSA, and we love him. So please support him and the rest of the DSA. Please subscribe to him. Get him to 1,000. All right, Andrew, do you have anything last words for the people in the chat today?
Yeah, so don't listen to these people over here. They don't know what they're talking about with that Adams thing. When you only score 23 points, I don't know, man. They got the D- on the test. They had all the answers and got a D-. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it. Go ahead.
Listen, man, he's heard our piece. We heard his piece. There's nothing else to talk about. Okay, we have difference of opinions. This guy apparently. Listen, Andrew just honestly thinks it's okay for the other team to know our playbook, but it's okay. So All right. At the end of the day, we're all real Detroit Lions fans. If you are also a real Detroit Lions fan and you're not an SOL fan and you follow this team and you're ride or die, you will be here when we finally win the Super Bowl, and you will be able to say you are a real Detroit Lions fan. So rock with us, subscribe to our channel, and be with us through the journey. So thanks, man. Bye, guys.